Thank you for visiting our channel. Please like, share and subscribe for more exciting food videos. How to make homemade gravy, easy steps for perfect flavor every time. Nothing beats the rich, savory taste of homemade gravy. Whether you're drizzling it over mashed potatoes, smothering a roast, or using it as a base for soups and sauces, a well-made gravy can elevate any meal. Learning to make it from scratch is easier than you think, and once you do, you'll never go back to store-bought. With just a few simple ingredients and techniques, you can create gravy that's smooth, flavorful, and far superior to anything from a jar or packet. It's one of those basics every home cook should know. Let's get started. Essential ingredients for homemade gravy. Great gravy starts with a handful of basic ingredients, but each one plays a key role in texture and flavor. Whether you're making a quick weeknight version or a show-stopping holiday gravy, understanding what goes into it and why makes all the difference. Choosing the right pan drippings. Pan drippings are the flavor foundation of any good gravy. Different meats create distinct tastes. Chicken drippings. Light and savory, perfect for a smooth, delicate gravy. The golden bits, fond, left in the pan add depth. Beef drippings. Richer and darker, ideal for a bold, hearty gravy. Strain excess fat but keep enough for richness. Turkey drippings. A balance of both, with a slightly sweet note. The key is scraping every bit of caramelized goodness from the pan. No drippings. Roast a few drumsticks or brown some ground meat to create them. The extra effort pays off. The role of flour and butter. Flour and butter work together to thicken the gravy while adding body and richness. Flour. The most common thickener. It absorbs liquid and swells, creating a smooth consistency. Cook it with fat first, a roux, to prevent a raw flour taste. Butter. Adds richness and helps the flour blend evenly. For a darker gravy, cook the roux longer until it's nutty and golden. Alternatives if needed. Cornstarch or arrowroot, gluten-free, but mix with water first. Oil or pan drippings instead of butter for dairy-free. Stock versus broth, which to use? Stock and broth aren't interchangeable. Here's how they change your gravy. Stock. Made from bones, simmered longer. It's richer in gelatin, giving the gravy a fuller mouthfeel. Ideal for beef or turkey gravy. Broth. Made with meat and vegetables, lighter in flavor. Works well for chicken gravy if you prefer a cleaner taste. For the best results, match the stock or broth to your drippings. Homemade is unbeatable, but low-sodium store-bought works fine. Just adjust seasoning. Step-by-step guide to making gravy. Now that you've gathered your ingredients, it's time to turn them into that silky, flavor-packed gravy everyone loves. The process is simple, but a few key steps make the difference between a lumpy mess and a perfect pour. Making the perfect roux. A roux, flour cooked in fat, is the backbone of most gravies. The longer you cook it, the deeper the color and flavor. White roux. Cook flour and butter, or drippings, for 1 to 2 minutes until just combined. It thickens well but keeps a mild taste, ideal for creamy gravies. Blonde roux. Let it cook 3 to 5 minutes until pale golden. It adds a slightly nutty flavor, great for chicken or turkey gravy. Brown roux. Cook 5 to 7 minutes until deep amber. This gives a robust, toasty flavor perfect for beef or sausage gravy. Stir constantly to avoid burning. A whisk works best for even mixing. Incorporating liquid smoothly. Lumps happen when liquid hits hot roux too fast. Here's how to keep it smooth. Warm your stock or broth before adding it. Cold liquid causes clumps. Heat it in a separate pan or microwave briefly. Add slowly, starting with a splash. Whisk until fully blended, then pour in the rest in a steady stream. Strain if needed. If you spot lumps, pour the gravy through a fine mesh sieve. It'll catch any stubborn bits. A flat whisk, like for sauces, helps scrape the pan corners where lumps hide. Simmering and seasoning. Gravy needs time to thicken and develop flavor, but don't rush it. Simmer gently for 5 to 10 minutes after adding liquid. Too much heat breaks down the starch, making it thin. Season last. Salt early, and you might overdo it as the gravy reduces. Taste and adjust with salt and black pepper. Freshly cracked adds brightness. Herbs like thyme, sage, or rosemary, just a pinch, so they don't overpower. Too thick? Add more stock, a tablespoon at a time. Too thin? Mix a teaspoon of cornstarch with cold water and stir it in. The gravy should coat the back of a spoon. Let it rest for a minute or two before serving. It'll thicken slightly as it cools. Troubleshooting common gravy mistakes. Even the best cooks run into gravy mishaps: too thin, too salty, or full of lumps. The good news? Most issues can be fixed with simple tricks. How to thicken runny gravy. Runny gravy happens when there's not enough thickener or the gravy hasn't reduced enough. Here's how to fix it. Flour or cornstarch slurry. Mix 1 tablespoon of flour or cornstarch with 2 tablespoons of cold water until smooth. Whisk it into the simmering gravy and cook for 2 to 3 minutes. It'll thicken fast, so start with half if you're unsure. Reduce it further. Simmer the gravy uncovered on low heat, stirring occasionally. Liquid evaporates, concentrating the flavor and thickening the consistency. Mashed potato trick. Stir in a spoonful of mashed potatoes if you need instant body. They blend in seamlessly and add creaminess. Remember, gravy thickens as it cools. If it's just slightly thin off the heat, it'll likely set up perfectly on the plate. That wraps up part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll dive into more tips for making the perfect gravy. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.